Hello and welcome back to another episode of Rome Total War, the Spanish campaign. Last time we dipped our toe into taking Sicily, taking Lilybaeum off the Scipii, leaving them with just 3 settlements remaining. And in the north of Italy, we took Segesta off the Gauls with a pretty uneventful battle, and now we just have to make sure we don't lose it back as they're bringing some forces to counterattack, so we'll have to deal with that this turn. But the main plan for today's episode is for Gergori the First to take his army, landed by Messana, and take that city off the Scipii, and for Gergori the Second to take his army from Lilybaeum and take Syracuse off the Scipii, leaving them with, I believe, just 1 settlement, but I don't know exactly where. Now, because of that, I'm going to take this diplomat, and I'm going to go speak to the Carthaginians, because I want to see if they've lost any of these cities to the Scipii. It says this is a Carthaginian. This is a Scipii port. Okay, so I still would like to see how many settlements the Carthaginians have, but this is the remaining Scipii city. We checked the faction rankings, so we know this is their last city outside of Sicily. So we should be able to knock them out this part or next part, which will be very exciting. First things first is actually going to be a nice quick battle, though. We're going to take what I've lovingly named Norbert the Elephant, and we're going to take him and just knock out some more rebels. Just seeing if I can get a man of the hour out of him. Now in this battle, the main thing we have to worry about is just these Balearic slingers. They might do a little bit of damage, if I'm not careful, to the elephants. So we're going to charge directly at these Balearic slingers. In the last battle, we lost 1 elephant, which was so sad, but that's the only elephant we've lost so far. So honestly, Norbert is hanging in there pretty well. Now we're just going to charge directly through the army. That's the best thing you can do with elephants. You don't want to stop and fight. You just want to charge directly through. So hopefully we can get there in time. Looks like they are going to get off a couple of slings, but let's just hope that we don't lose an elephant. I'm not really at all worried about these Iberian infantry. With swords, they're not going to do almost anything to my elephants, but the missile troops will do some damage. So we're going to ignore the Iberians and just focus on the skirmishers and the slingers. Come on, I'm going to speed this up a little bit. Just because I can't bear to watch Norbert's elephants die. Come on, you got this. Hopefully these slingers don't have range at this point. I don't think they can land any hits. Let's turn on the general real quick, just see if we can get him to leave us alone. And then we can go for the skirmishers. Perfect. My elephants are doing well. We lost an elephant there, so that's really unfortunate. Let's see if we can get these skirmishers off the field. Yeah, very sad. I always get so sad when I lose an elephant. But it's so useful to get rid of all these rebels. It'll be nice to have just no rebels on Spain's mainland. Alright, last unit. Come on. Yeah, we'll hunt them down a little bit. Just see if we can get... Yep, we got another thing of experience for these elephants. So that's nice. Let's see if we can get a little more. I feel like units with not very many troops tend to get experience faster, so I wouldn't be surprised if this Mercenary War Elephants gets pretty good. Perfect, so we lost 1 elephant, but we got rid of another rebel army. Let's see if we get a man of the hour. Probably not. We haven't been so far, but it would be nice. Nope, not yet. That's okay. What else have we got? We have this rebel army has respawned. We have 1 by Carthago Nova and 1 over here by Osca. Let's do it in order. We'll go to Cordoba first, and then we'll just rotate around Spain until there are no rebels left. So that'll be nice. The last thing we have to do this turn, because we kind of ended between turns last time, is we're going to knock out Segovax of Auduaturum. Oh goodness, Auduatucorum. That's quite the name. Just so we can get this area cleared so we don't lose a city like Arretium or Segesta. We don't want to have overextended. So this general is just fine. 3 command stars, no special traits. Forester Warband, that'll be a little scary, and honestly the Chosen Swordsman will as well. We just need to be smart about morale, use that to our advantage. And yeah, should be okay. We vastly outnumber them. In this battle, we're going to use the standard anti-Gaul strategy of just surrounding them with cavalry. So let's start the battle and see how they draw up. Perfect. Let's take this long wing of cavalry and wrap them around like so. Take them on this side, and then we will bunch them up. Then we'll take About 5 units over here. Do the same thing in this flank. And then we'll have the frontal cavalry be its own group. And we're just going to try to avoid getting hit by the foresters while we get drawn up. Where are the forester warband? Here at the back, okay. Make sure we're not getting too close. No, we're perfect. Let's take this set of units, bring them a little closer. And this set of units is pretty close to these chosen swordsmen, so let's just charge in here. We outnumber them a lot, so we should be okay. Let's start the battle. Over here, we'll charge in this side, and we'll charge into this flank with all of these troops. This will be the easiest flank. Hopefully over here we can get a break before our troops break. We will see. Yeah, we just want to break over here. Their general is marching out front, so that won't be a good idea, because once he dies, the rest of the army will break. Okay, yeah, we got one break. Luckily, this warband broke. We're going to ignore these chosen swordsmen for a moment, because we want to get a couple breaks going. Perfect, we have a break here. We'll send one unit to pursue, and then over here we'll just charge into whatever hasn't broken. Fantastic, we got their enemy general. Let's send another unit to hunt down these warband that are routing. And just charge into these foresters. Perfect. Someone in the comments let me know that the foresters actually have spears as their melee weapon, which I never knew. So that's why they're so good against cavalry. Pretty interesting. We're just going to hunt down the last few chosen swordsmen over here. Get any experience we can. May as well. Perfect. So we lost about 300 soldiers. Not the best. Took some casualties there, but it was a pretty tough army. So I'm happy with that. No one escaped. So, yay. And I'm tempted to send Kerbasi to just finish off the second army as well. I think I will. I'm going to go ahead and merge up these units, and then we'll do another battle here. And I think we'll be able to get troops to Segesta from Arretium, so public order shouldn't be an issue. I'll take my weakest units, send them back to Segesta for repairs. And yeah, we'll do that a little later once we know what the public order situation will be. And this should be enough to handle Captain Catavingus. Let's see. I don't know much about his army. Let's see what we can find out. Some decent Forester warband, but honestly mostly basic swordsmen who have really bad armor. The barbarian nobles will be a bit difficult, but I think we can handle this. Hopefully we can just track down the general, cause some morale issues. Standard Gaul stuff, you know. So, another standard Gaul battle. I'll try to keep it relatively quick. We'll send some cavalry out on the flank. This is the noble cavalry, so we actually want to commit a decent force over here just for dealing with those noble cavalry. We'll group them up, and then on this flank, we will grab about 4 or 5. Yeah, 4 cavalry. That's perfect. That will deal with this pretty weak barbarian cavalry over here. And then the frontal force will be a little stronger for this battle because that's where most of the army is. Alright, let's have everyone run into position. And we'll move up the center force as well. And then what can we do here? So let's charge into these barbarian cavalry on this flank. And then over here we'll deal with the noble cavalry immediately. We're going to leave the central force kind of just walking for a moment. Maybe we charge in. Let's charge into right here. See if we can cause a break. We can kind of capitalize on the broken noble cavalry over here. We have another break on the other flank. Yeah, it doesn't look like this is going very well for the Gauls. I'm going to go ahead and use rally troops for my general just so he falls back over here. Stays out of the fighting for a little bit. Yeah, but this is not going well. Their whole army is breaking. So let's see if we can break these war dogs before they're released, because then we don't have to deal with the actual dogs unit. All right, can we kill their general and this last Forester warband? That's honestly the last big threat here.
The enemy army is running like a startled goat. The enemy warlord is dead.
Perfect. We've killed the enemy warlord. And what is left on the field? So we have some minor units over here. Let's just come over here, break them. What is this? Warband and skirmisher warband. Yeah, not much to be worried about, but can cause some damage. How much is left of the enemy? Actually, we've only killed 67% of them, so we do have to do some more damage for the whole army to despawn. Let's see if we can hunt down these swordsmen. And over here, some chosen swordsmen. We have some cavalry over here that can deal with these swordsmen. Yeah, everyone's broken. We just need to hit 85% of the enemy routed, and then we'll be good to end the battle. 80 through, okay, 95, perfect. We're good. Let's go ahead and end the battle. So yeah, 250 casualties, killed the whole army. It's pretty good. And wow, that was a famous battle. That's pretty awesome. Got a trade increase for Kerbasi. Wow, superior commander. 5 command stars at 29. I really like Kerbasi. Very pleased with him. Let's send back some troops to Segesta. What can we... Maybe we'll just retrain a bunch of troops here. Let's get rid of the peasants that were queued and retrain. Starting with the weakest troops. That's good. Let's kind of join up the units that were a little bit weakened. And we can train those as well. And then we will still train one unit. Let's actually do some slingers, because we have stone walls here in Segesta. We may as well defend it with some slingers. We'll do that as well. And honestly, that leaves these remaining cities, Batavia and Mediolanium, almost undefended. They have 4 units between them. It's possible they have another army just kind of sitting around out in the field over here. But we've killed a lot of Gauls lately, so I'm tempted to push north and just keep taking their cities if they're going to let me. We might continue our push north, like, next turn. So that's pretty cool. I would love to consolidate all of Italy. That's the last thing to do this turn. We're still waiting on more move points on these navy and for some repairs and new troops in Lilybaeum. Let's go ahead and end the turn and see how things look next turn. So we still have a plague going on in Capua. 881 civilians killed. Not the end of the world. It's too big for a Spanish settlement anyways. We'll recover. It's okay. We have a new general who came of age who has axe bitten off the rip. So +1 morale, +1 command, but doesn't do so well when defending. So that's interesting. Who are you? Anger. Ooh, -1 influence. I forget if that turns into any good traits as a barbarian general. I feel like it might, like bloody, something like that. I'm not sure, but we'll take this general and send him up north to Osca. I'm starting to think I might push north to Narbra Martius at some point. It's not an immediate plan, but he could be the base of that little bit of an invading army. Because at this point, we've weakened the Gauls so much, it wouldn't be that bad of an idea to take at least Narbra Martius. It's a good city, it has mines. It'd be good for the economy. Speaking of the economy, ooh, 18,000 profits. Most of that, actually all of that, is because we sacked Lilybaeum. We actually would have lost money that turn because we're spending so much on army upkeep, so double-edged sword. But hey, good turn for us. We made a lot of money. Gergori the First is ready to land his massive army outside of Messana. Let's see if there's any armies nearby. Yeah, we do have a Scipii army here. Ooh, my goodness. That's one of the scarier armies we've seen so far. I might want to face this army in the field because I have a general. They don't, so they'd have some morale issues. But look at that. I mean, this is full Marion except for these Velites. So they have onagers, which always complicates bringing a general into the battle because if they get a lucky shot, you can lose your faction leader like that. Praetorian cohort, early legionary, and auxilia. So crazy. These are such good troops. And we finally get a look at the stats of the legionary cavalry. 9 attacks, 6 charge bonus, 22 defense. So crazy. Such a good unit. I'm thinking I'd like to cut this army off and prevent getting attacked from behind from Messana. So I'm tempted to put my army down here, but then again, if anyone escapes this battle, I would like them not to enter Messana. So maybe the best place would actually be right here. Since we plan on fighting them this turn, this kind of prevents the army from fleeing to Messana, so I think that works. So let's go ahead and clean up this army a little bit, get them nice and strong before we go into battle, just so our units are ready. And we'll go ahead and start the battle now. Yeah, we're a little bit battered here, so straight up fighting is not going to be the best approach. Let's see how we do here. Captain Titus, yeah, pretty scary stuff. The scary thing about the post-Marian reform is all these units have good morale. So, yeah, almost all of these units. I mean, not the Stadi, not the Auxilia, not the Cavalry Auxilia, or the Roman Cavalry, but everything else has good morale. So, kind of scary. Let's try this, and hopefully we don't lose Gergori. I feel like I accidentally prescribed it when I made a Freudian slip in the last part and said this would be his last journey. So yeah, we'll see. But hey, Rome Total War believes in us. They say army strength ratio is 4-3. So, you know, that's comforting, right? So this is our battle map. It's relatively simple. No real elevation differences to be worried about. We're going to go with our tried and true strategy with Gergori of front line of mercenary hoplites. We got our nice strong unit of bull warriors. Let's actually do it on this side because I feel like they're more likely to have more of their forces on this side. And then we'll have this unit of bull warriors over here, kind of just guarding the flank. Both of these can be on fire at will. And then we'll have our slingers out in front. And they'll just be skirmishing, doing as much damage as possible. Hopefully we don't lose them because they're getting so good. Look at that, missile attack 14. And then we'll have our weakest cavalry that's not really to be used in the battle, just behind the front line here. Just kind of additionally guarding the flank. And we'll have Gergori over here as well. Just for now, we might bring him into the battle later because he does have 125 heavy cavalry. But on the flank, we will have half of our cavalry over here, just ready to cause breaks wherever possible, and we'll group them up. And then over here we'll have half our cavalry, but I don't want to include our secondary general and just the common cavalry because I would just be so upset if I lost him because he was being used as just light infantry. Ooh, this is kind of scary. This does not look like as strong of an army as I thought, but let's see how this goes. I think we should bring the slingers into the action. Let's pull them. Oh, we might not need to pull them forward. Looks like they're coming in on us. All right, let's get our cavalry in the action here. We're going to attack these cavalry auxilia, just chase them off. And then on this flank, we will target the legionary cavalry, which is the general's unit for this army. Honestly, it's good that we're doing damage to this Roman cavalry. We're going to want these slingers to get to safety relatively quickly, though. Yeah, let's see here. How's everything doing? Let's pull our cavalry back. They're just charging into the front of an army here. We don't want that. Over here, yeah, this is still dealing with cavalry auxilia. We have 2 breaks going, so that's great. We're going to use this cavalry as intelligently as possible. On the flank here, we have some Hastati. That's where they put all their Hastati, so we'll charge into this flank with our cavalry. I think we can handle it. Yep, perfect. We have 1 break. And over here, let's charge into this legionary cohort as well. This is good. We've got a good amount of breaks going. Let's bring Gergori into this because he's got such a great unit of heavy cavalry. We want to assist with causing breaks wherever possible. We're going to charge into the auxilia here just because I think we can break them even though they are, you know, spearmen. Kind of scary, but I think we can handle it. Yeah, go deal with these Hastati that have reformed, and then you deal with these auxilia. And we're going to send Gergori into these auxilia over here. We've broken almost the whole army, so that's fantastic. Gergori should be safe on the flank over here. I think we've basically done it. I mean, what's left? There's an early legionary that hasn't broken over here, and let's start divvying up the cavalry, dealing with different units that are fleeing. Yeah, get these Praetorians for sure. And someone will chase the cavalry auxilia just to keep them moving. But Gergori can deal with the Hastati that have reformed over here, and we just want to kill as much of the army as possible so no one reforms. Let's go ahead and disable fire at will for the slingers just because I don't want to cause any damage to our own troops. But I think we've basically got this, right? Let's continue the battle. We want to kill as many as possible. Have we gotten 85% of the army? Yeah, we actually have. So we could end it here, but we'll pick up some experience if we can. It's nice to let Gergori get some kills. I want to keep his bars of experience moving up. He's already at silver, so that's pretty amazing. But I think at this point we can go ahead and end the battle. There's not really much left. We didn't really let anyone escape, so they'll just disband here. That's pretty awesome. Yeah, we lost 170 troops and killed an army of 1,674, so that's awesome. If they had just kept that army in Messana, it would have been more than enough to defend Messana, but they didn't, so yeah, they're going to have real issues here. I don't know how they could possibly defend Messana. Let's repair our cavalry. We will probably need them pretty heavily for this siege if we want to push into the city, just because we don't have much infantry left. So, yeah, but I think we can handle this. What's in Messana itself? Hastati. I don't see what the other units are, but yeah, I don't think they have much of a chance here. Let's chase away this Scipii ship. Maybe we can sink it. Yeah, fantastic. And then we'll bring our fleet over here, and we want to start just dealing with all of these ships, especially these Brudii ones, because hopefully the Scipii ones will despawn soon, but Brudii ones we want to get rid of. Here in Lilybaeum, we have Gergori the Second's army. Let's see what we can do here. We have a decent amount of pretty strong troops that we can use for this battle. Obviously, Lilybaeum is at 10% public order, so we'll have to bring some troops back after the battle, but let's see if we can kill Captain Asinius. Has some Praetorians, some Onagers and Scorpions, but it's a pretty flimsy army other than the Praetorians, so I think we can handle this. So we have a pretty standard battlefield here. Not much that we're going to really try to use. Let's just make our front line of... We usually do Naked Fanatics as the front line. Since we have Mercenary Hoplites, we'll make that the central block of the army. And then we'll put some Naked Fanatics on the right and the left. We will back that up with Bull Warriors. Just to get the Javelins in, we'll kind of offset them a little bit. Same over here. But I'm hoping to do most of this battle with the cavalry. So cavalry is the main thing. Let's put them over here. And of course our slingers, which will be useful against the Praetorians. But we're gonna have a nice central block of our army, just in case we need it. All right, let's go ahead and start the battle and see what they are drawing up with. All right, so they've drawn up in just a pretty flat line. We're actually already taking damage from these onagers, so let's pause for just a moment. And we'll bring our cavalry around. We just want to disrupt the onagers as quickly as possible. Let's bring our Balearic slingers up to begin just peppering the Praetorians. Honestly, let's send our mercenary hoplites off because that's what's being targeted right now, and they can't hide in the forest. Let's send them back just so we don't accidentally lose a bunch of other troops because the mercenaries can't hide. All right, let's speed this up a little bit. Yeah, we do want to focus on these onagers if we can. It would really sting to lose a general here, so let's keep moving. We don't want to just sit still because we want the onagers to keep having to turn. And let's get these slingers firing at the Praetorians. That's our priority. They might get charged by Roman cavalry, but it's okay. In the meantime, we're going to just push around, hopefully cause some breaks with the Onager and Scorpions. I think we can handle this. Let's charge into these light auxilia. Really hoping we don't lose a general here, but these aren't my best generals. Except Gergori. I would really hate to lose Gergori. So, you know, anyone named Gergori has a future in the Spanish Empire, so... Alright, let's pull Gergori back a little bit and use the rest of these cavalry as our brute force. Can we break these onagers? That would be what I love, just so we can fight a slow battle and not be worried about just losing a general to an onager. There are some Arcani in here as well. So, yeah, this is a pretty brutal fight, but I think we can handle it because there aren't that many of them. haven't caused a break yet. Let's get Gergori over here to deal with the scorpions. We'll go over here. Everyone's still eager, so we're doing all right. We might lose a general here, but I'm not too worried about it. Okay, we have a break here. Onagers have broken. Arcani will go soon. And then we can deal with these scorpions. Yeah, scorpions. Perfect. They broke. Nice. Good start to this battle. We'll just clean up those last few troops and then deal with the Roman cavalry. Honestly, let's get the generals back. I don't want to lose any of them. We'll send in our cavalry to deal with this Roman cavalry. Let's check on the Praetorians. How are they doing? Yeah, they're just getting shot in the back by rocks right now, so not going great for them. Let's make sure we're not going to lose any of these units. No, the enemy are breaking. Yeah, I'm not too worried about that. As long as we don't get pinned by the Praetorians, I think we'll be alright. Alright, so let's get our general out of the way. These Praetorians, they're just going to keep taking damage from the slingers. No need to attack them. Yeah, they're fleeing. Perfect. Let's pick up the last few light auxilia, that kind of stuff. Just see if we can get to 85%. Yeah, we've only killed 81% of the enemies because we have to pick up these Praetorians, but that's alright. I'm going to tell these slingers to stop pursuing, and we'll just clean up the Praetorians with Gergori. Just, you know, get them a little bit of experience, maybe. Love seeing Scipii die. Fantastic, and the Praetorians are dead. The battle's won. We lost 140 troops. That's not much at all. And there's not much left on Sicily, I'll tell you that. We've got the troops in Messana, the troops in Syracuse, whatever. And I believe that's it. We don't really know what else is here in the shadows, but let's send back our highest influence general. Oh, wow. Oh, it's Gergori. Sad. I was going to say, wow, is Palbin that good? No, it's Gergori. I don't want to send Gergori back to Lily Biome. We'll just send some troops back. So the weak stuff we don't really want to bring. We'll send this cavalry back for just some repairs. And then what else do we not really use? Naked Fanatics, Scutarii, they're not really that good. So we'll keep sending these back to Lily Biome until they're satisfied. Come on. We'll send Palbin as well. We might just need Gergori. Do we need Gergori? Wow, even that. How many troops do we need to take Syracuse? More than this. We'll try it though. How close are we? We're at 60% public order. After the tavern is built, we'll be at 65%. I think we are all okay. That should be good. I think that's good enough. All right, let's send this general Zygor of Costulo to take Syracuse. Not as fun as sending a Gergori, but oh well. Now, up here in Segesta, we repaired the army. Ooh, look at that. Looking good. Let's send them out and just send back some slingers and maybe some peasants from Iridium. That's good enough to make Segesta satisfied. Build another unit of slingers here and then some Scutarii. And we'll send Kerbasi of Toledo out into the field. And can we just besiege Mediolanium? Let's just try it. And we'll see what's here. We don't have an infantry unit to actually man any siege equipment. But yeah, I don't see anyone else. Let's send up some slingers to just man the siege towers. Oh, no, there's no siege towers. Okay, fine. Man the ram. What's in Mediolanium? No missile troops, so that's good. Some chosen swordsmen, their faction leader. Cool. Yeah, I'm happy with that. We'll actually send... Do we want slingers in Segesta or Iridium? Honestly, Iridium might be in more danger in case someone comes from Patavium. So we'll leave the slingers here in Iridium. We'll keep sending Norbert around. Go south to Captain Daniel. Captain Daniel. Alright, let's check on this diplomat that I was sending. Ah, can we reach? Perfect. Talk to the Carthaginians. Let's see how many regions they have. So they have Carthage, Leptis Magna, Cirta, Dimity, Nept. That's, I think, all of the ones on the map except for the one that we know they lost, so that makes sense. Let's see if they'll take a ceasefire. And I would just like trade rights with them, honestly. I really have no problem with them. I took the city I wanted. No, they don't want it. Fine. Can we see any elephants by any chance? I wonder what happened to that army of elephants. I never found out. Alright, we'll send this guy back. And let's take a look. I think there's not much else to do this turn, honestly. We're besieging Messana. I'll double check all these fleets just for like any armies that might be sneaking in, but I don't see any. Yep. All these ships and no armies. Alright, let's go ahead and end this turn. Oh, where is this? I forgot to move this fleet. That's okay. We might even win it. Oh, we won it. And we're going to lose this one. Yeah. It's okay. We really need to get the boats under control. It's an epidemic right now. Alright, let's just chase off some boats. Just start to take back this region. Yeah, these boats are getting so good. They have so much experience at this point. How good are you? Oh yeah, very good. Wow, and with that, we can actually see the last city of Sicily, and there's no more armies. Alright, I mean, maybe in this little forest here, but I don't think so. Let's just... Yeah, this is good. We're just, you know, clearing out the whole area. Oh yeah, this is nice. Get out of here. Perfect. And yeah, we can't quite reach Messana's port. We could actually take Messana this turn, so I think we probably will do that. Let's besiege Syracuse. Oh, okay, no, we do have an army here. Alright, let's see what's here. Okay. Some Praetorians and Onagers. I wonder if I could take them in the field if I just attack this army. It's a little bit scary with such a small force, but I'm tempted to try it. In Palma, I would love to build a great market, but it only increases your trade by 50. Come on. Such a waste. I'm not going to buy anything in Palma right now. Let that just chill. Lilybium will build a Bardic Circle just to appease them. Well, actually, we want some... Do we want some decent troops here? I think we want some decent troops here. Let's do one more unit of slingers, and then we'll do some peasants just for public order. Oh, this is a shame. Just from that one turn spent in Lilybium, Gergori and Palban got Slobberdigolians. That's such a shame. That's just such a horrible trait. I know people want me to stop building taverns, but you kind of need them when you just took a city. Let's get them out of the city if we can. Yeah, just they won't pick up at least the traits. Like, they have the retinue, but they hopefully won't pick up the traits to do with being an alcoholic. Yeah, that's a real shame. You know what I just realized I could do? I could take these two generals and besiege Syracuse. And then if I want to attack this army here, they won't be able to pull reinforcements from Syracuse. That'll be nice. Okay, I'll do that. And that way these guys can get some action as well. Because I wanted Gergori to be involved in taking Syracuse. Capio, we still have our plague here, sadly. Made 5,000 denarii that turn. That's wonderful. Even though we're spending 21,000 a turn on upkeep. That's crazy. This is a pretty great turn. We might be able to take Mediolanium. Take Messana. Not quite take Syracuse, but we'll take it next turn. That's a win. We're actually expanding way faster than we were. For a while there, it was pretty slow, but this is pretty awesome. So now that we've separated these two armies, I'm going to go ahead and attack Captain Obvious here. Yeah, he doesn't want to fight. This shouldn't be too hard. We're just going to separate the Onager and the Praetorians and just pick them apart with missile troops, so I think it'll be fine. So let's grab our two units of slingers and pull them up to the front. And then I actually want them to attack from the sides if possible. So the reason for that is that there will be less armor for the Praetorians on the sides. They have most of their armor just directly in the front. So let's get them all the way to the sides. And then I'm going to pause it and I'm going to take all of the heavy infantry in the army and we're just going to set them to loose formation because it will make them a little harder to target with the onagers. We'll pull back our troops we can't heal, the hoplites, and then we'll pull back our general because I don't want either of them to get smacked in the face. So go over there and really spread out. Yeah. And then our slingers, where are y'all at? All right, let's resume. Okay, they're being chased a little bit. Let's just run because we outrun them. We can totally separate the Praetorians from the onagers. That's a good thing. We're just going to kind of do this dance of the slingers attacking the Praetorians and then running away. And they are getting targeted by the onagers, so you know that's not ideal. We'll take some damage to the slingers, but they're new slingers. They don't have any experience, so it's not the end of the world. But this is what I was talking about. They're getting hit in the side, and so they will take a lot more damage. Let's do the same thing to this unit. We want both units nice and weak, and yeah, they're not using their fire onager shots, so they're a little more accurate, but I'm not too worried about it. Just a few casualties. Yeah, these Praetorians would have been so much better in the city center, but out in the field, they're just not that good because you can just target them with slingers. And we're taking a lot of damage over here. Let's just get this as wide as possible. Yeah, that's a little harder for them to hit. They're still going to hit them, but they'll kill fewer per volley. This unit is out of ammo, so once the other unit's out of ammo, we'll just start a frontal attack. We'll just do that now. So we'll keep our general somewhat nearby, but yeah, I think we will have a pretty easy time breaking through these units of Praetorians now. With just a massive javelin storm. Let's see it. Yeah, they're just going to charge in. Shaken, wavering. Yeah. Not going well for them. Broken. Pull our general in to rout the people who leave. Yeah. Just like that. Nice and quick. We'll just wrap up whoever's left. And I'm sure we took some casualties there. Probably about 100, 120. But it's not the end of the world. Let's go ahead and end the battle. Oh, 80. Not bad. So I don't think we're close enough to besiege Syracuse, but we'll do that next turn. We can go ahead and take Messana, though. So who's in here? We have a Hastati, a Legionary, and a Praetorian. Yeah, let's go ahead and fight it out. I'm not too concerned about this. I don't think we would benefit from starving them out, just because it's going to be easy anyways. We're just going to use our slingers, use our towers. It'll be fine. So the main trick here is going to be which units are manning the siege towers. And I think the answer for that is ideally bull warriors, because they take less damage since they have 2 hit points. From the towers, they take less damage. And then we'll use our kind of crappiest unit of slingers for the third one. Let's see where they drop. They drop on the walls, that's a good thing. But let's see. Is this on the walls? No, off the walls, and a commenter was telling me that if they start off the walls, they will never go up the walls to defend the city in Rome Total War, which I never knew. That's pretty cool. I'll pull up these bull warriors. We'll just get a couple towers going, and I'll just speed this up. We don't really need to watch this. I don't think we'll take any casualties from the towers because bull warriors are just so tough. Have they abandoned this part of the walls? Okay, they're over here. Yeah. We'll work on getting the slingers up here. Why not, right? Well, no, they'll take some damage. No need. Let's get our slingers somewhat close to the front gate, because we're going to want to send them through as soon as possible. They're not in range of the towers, but close enough. And pretty soon we'll just take the wall. Perfect. And then we will go ahead and take this tower just to start doing damage against these legionaries. Over here, we will grab this section of wall to turn the gateway. And then we'll go over here and grab this tower. And then let's bring in our slingers just with the towers. So our slingers will go through the towers, just get up on the walls so they can start firing down at these legionaries. But there's so many towers at this point, just firing down at them. Once everyone's up on the walls, we will let them fire their javelins. Alright, can you... Okay. Yeah, this will take a little while. I'll just skip ahead a little bit. So this unit of bull warriors can actually get some javelins in, so let's do that. Oh yeah, that's a ton of damage. Lovely. And hopefully they don't flee all the way to the city center. They might reform. And I'm going to send this unit around the whole city, just pick up all the towers in case we want to flank the city center. And I'm actually going to move a unit of slingers up to this position, because not that I think they'll reach to the plaza, but if anyone ever like runs out into this street, it would actually be a pretty fantastic place to fire from. So let's get our smallest unit of slingers right here. And let's check on the status of our little expedition force. Yeah, they're just turning all the towers. They're through most of the city now. And as the two units reunite over here, that means we've taken all of the towers in the city. So we can go ahead and kind of prep our army. Let's pull one unit of slingers. Where are you right now? Are they going to go up the walls? Okay, that's alright. It'll take a little while. Let's send our cavalry in through the gates. This is a little bit much for, you know, just a couple units of Romans, but, you know, I'm doing the thing the right way, taking as few casualties as possible. Alright, this unit of slingers, I'm going to tell them to get over here with, let's send 4 units of cavalry over here. And then let's see how they react to this. Hopefully they just stay on the plaza. That's what I'd like. Seems like that's what they're doing. So we're going to take the cavalry, and they're eventually going to attack from... Is there like a rear attack over here? Oh no, it's a pretty well protected plaza. I wonder if this is a place you could attack from. We're going to go over there and see if that's an option. And then I wonder if these slingers will have range onto the plaza. I can't quite tell. It would be amazing if they did. Let's get these bull warriors over to this entrance over here. Hopefully they pick the right route. They probably will. Oh yeah, we're already in range of these Praetorians, so that's so exciting. Let's get these slingers just like lined up right there. That's perfect. Give them a little bit of time, and they will start raining down on these Praetorians. Okay, the unit I was sending around the walls got all glitched up, so we're going to let them figure themselves out. We're just going to use this slightly worse unit to go up on the walls over here, because they get so confused up on the walls. They're all doing this at different towers around the whole wall, so yeah, you just figure yourself out. We're going to take the professionals. We're here. And we're going to send these slingers up onto the wall. And I'll temporarily turn off fire at will. Let's get these slingers... No, not quite. Let's just try this. Let's see if they kind of react when we go up here. Yeah, we'll grab this unit of slingers as well. More the merrier. Yeah, so they are fleeing now. Where are they going? They're going to charge the cavalry? This is an interesting development. What are they charging at? All this cavalry? I mean, if they want to, they're more than welcome to. Oh, this is what they were charging at. There must be some part of the unit that's over here. Okay. Yeah, this unit's stupid anyways, but they're honestly getting shot by the towers, so they're taking equal damage. It's all good. Let's draw this unit up here, draw this unit up here, so when they go back to the plaza, they will not like the plaza they find. Okay. Alright, finally we got all these units of slingers here. We're gonna have them, once they're comfortable, stop and fire. Come on. You could reach them before. Come on, you can reach them. Why can they not reach them now? I'm so sad. Alright, they don't want to back into range, so we're just going to take these 3 units and bring them over here. And just bring them over here. We're going to just find them a nice spot to shoot at people in the plaza from. Okay, so we've kind of tempted them forward here. The bull warriors are throwing their javelins in, and let's see. This kind of pulls them off the plaza. But let's get our cavalry in here now. Just hit them from behind and push them off the plaza, and hopefully we can just break them. We might have one break here from the smaller unit of bull warriors. Let's run this bigger unit in. Yeah, we have a small break here. But the cavalry will be arriving any second, so I'm not too worried. Alright, cavalry's here. And then we can just push them off. Pull this general back, we don't want to lose our generals. And yeah, we're just slaughtering them here. Nice and quick. Okay, we lost 114 troops, but worth it to take a city. And for Messana, we're just going to have to exterminate it. That puts us over 100,000 denarii, but yeah, the cultural differences are just too strong. So let's kind of prepare up some troops. We can send some troops over to help out with the siege of Syracuse. We'll repair up the damaged troops, and we'll build another unit of slingers just to have on the walls in Messana for when we move on with our army. Let's take Gergori. We can reunite the Gergories for the first time. That'll be interesting. Grab our best units of cavalry. And some units of slingers as well. And the hoplites. Yeah, nice big army. And the 2 Gergories are in the same army for the first time. Faction heir and faction leader. Fantastic. Messana, they're not too happy with me, so we'll build up some peasants just to get that public order under control. We'll just let's bring 1 unit of round shield cavalry over. Come on, we can make this work. We're so close. 70% public order. How is that red? 1 more cavalry, and there we go. Everyone's blue. As you should be. You just got conquered. It's alright. The next turn we will pick up Syracuse. This turn, though, we have another city that we can take, Mediolanium. So let's see here. What are we facing? We have their faction leader, who is a drunken lout, a gambler, a harsh governor. He has a drunken uncle, and a Slobberdigullion. Honestly, with 0 traits, 0 stars of command, management, and influence, might be doing them a favor by getting rid of their faction leader here. But this should be a pretty simple battle. Just rush in with cavalry. Not much to speak of, but yeah. So we'll bring up our ram, and we'll just knock down the gates. And we're just going to pull up pretty much all of our cavalry right here. Nice, intimidating block. I'll make this nice and quick. They don't have any ranged troops, they just have a couple units of heavy infantry, so yeah, there's not really much here. Alright, we knocked down the front gate. Let's move on and just knock down another hole in this wall. And then we can, honestly, I'm tempted to just charge into this unit right here, but they're bringing some reinforcements, so we'll use both the front gate and this piece of wall that we're knocking down. So let's pull up our cavalry here. Once this bit of wall goes down, we'll just charge through, knock down these warband, and we'll take these units and charge into the chosen swordsman. So, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't like to be them. They've got troops coming from all sides. They should break any second. They're eager, shaken, wavering, broken. Yeah. That's pretty much how it usually goes with the Gauls. And this warband is broken. And we will stop before we chase them all the way onto the plaza, but yeah, I mean, there's not much left. There's a warlord and one unit of chosen swordsmen, and that's it. Yeah, let's kill this faction leader. We have enough troops here. Crazy how fast they're losing troops here. Brutal.
The enemy king has gone to meet his ancestors. His lackeys now rightly fear us.
And we'll just push all the way on. Honestly, we can probably kick these chosen swordsmen off the plaza. Last unit. They're going down pretty quick. Honestly, taking a decent amount of damage here, but morale is okay. It's actually not great. Let's just push all the way past the plaza. That kind of helps with morale. Just get more troops around them. And then once they're completely surrounded, attack. We have some breaks, so let's pull everyone back. We won't take too much damage because they just don't have enough troops to do damage. We'll just let everything reform. Pull back. You absolute cowards. You outnumber them like 12 to 1. Come on. We'll use rally troops here, and most of the army will just rally here. Yeah, this is the downside of the army that I have guarding the north of Gaul. It's just cavalry, so in a city like this, I guess we should have just starved them out, but yeah, it's rough. I could have separated the army and had them attack from different angles, but then you're more likely to have one of those flanks break, and if there's one break, the whole army breaks just like that, so I think it's fine how I handled this. We'll let our general get a little closer, and then once everyone's rested, we will just charge in again. Alright, we have a bunch of people that are fresh. Some are winded, but for the most part, they're fresh. We'll exclude the absolute weakest units here. Like under 50, we don't need them. And we'll just charge back in. Let's charge immediately past the army. And then attack. And then we'll use rally troops so we don't have another break. And this time should go a little bit better. Yeah, they're wavering instead of us. There we go. Nice and easy, end the battle. We lost 800 troops. It's not ideal, but that's the way of the world. It's okay. Now, the question is, do we have to exterminate Mediolanium? We could enslave them, but honestly, I don't mind the denarii. These have decent growth rate, these cities, so we'll just go ahead and exterminate them. We still have 4,000 population. That's good for a Spanish settlement. And then we will go ahead and retrain a bunch of units. So I'm going to heal up units as best I can. We want to just try and heal up the whole army with one turn. Alright, let's see. We have 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we can actually heal up the whole army in one turn. That's pretty awesome. We don't want to attack Batavium immediately, but pretty soon we will. We're just going to build up some... Maybe we want to build one unit in the city, like build an actual unit. Let's build some Scutarii here. And we'll spend a few turns retraining and then take Batavium as well. This has been a very profitable turn, definitely, with another city sacked. We only have one more city to take in Italy and one more city to take in Sicily. Then we will own this whole region, which is so nice. Very excited for that. I'm excited to have the Carthaginian cities as well. This would look so nice to just have this whole corner of the world conquered. And we're nearly there. So how many settlements does that put us at? 19. That's pretty impressive. I'm going to take a look at the rest of the empire, see if there's anything else we want to do this turn. But, ooh, we have rebels outside of Tingi. Just some miscellaneous rebels. We'll clean them up at some point. Wonder if we could buy more war elephants if we wanted to. No, it's good to know. We'll send Norbert the elephant south. 2 more turns till he gets another taste of enemy rebel blood. Let's take a look at the trading report for Palma, because it wasn't doing very much in trade before. Yeah, it's still not really doing that much. I want to see about the other cities, though, like Cordoba. It doesn't look like that much, but it's always been a very profitable city. 1,700, that's honestly, I feel like that's less than before. I wonder if that's because of these rebels here. Yes, we're losing a ton of money to these rebels. Good thing I checked that. Okay, so we need to get rid of these guys. Let's just take almost the whole army. We'll leave behind these skirmishers. And we need to get rid of these rebels, because we just are losing 3,000 a turn to these rebels blocking trade. It's basic stuff. This will be an easy battle, but yeah, this is really important. I'm so glad I noticed that. I usually don't check down by Tingi, but yeah, that would have really been horrible for the economy. So let's just go up there. We'll just fire off the javelins we have with our Numidian mercenaries, and then we'll bring up our slingers, do the same thing. Yeah, Numidian javelin men, that's what they brought. I believe we can just kind of do a Cantabrian circle and just fire off what we have. They're being quite aggressive, honestly. We'll just fire off what we have. Yeah, they're not gonna have good morale or anything. They're getting backed up. We'll keep this nice and quick. Yeah, just take out the peasants. We could honestly charge in with our general, and I bet we could handle this, but let's just bring up our Scutarii, our Spanish mercenaries, and we'll just attack them. They'll break immediately. They're surrounded on all sides. They don't really have much hope here. But the reinforcements have just arrived. Let's not get caught out and, you know, get really hurt here. No, we don't want to charge peasants. We'll just keep the slingers firing. And then, I mean, now we can charge these peasants. Yeah, they broke. Let's send these Spanish mercenaries to fight the Numidians. And then we'll assist with our general and with our cavalry. They'll break here pretty quickly. Yeah, they're broken. Go pick up those fleeing Numidians. And then our general can kill these Numidian javelin men here. Perfect. Let's go ahead and end the battle. It was a little sloppy. We lost 100 troops, but we got rid of them. And I want to see how much our trade recovers immediately. So in Tingi, we're making 1,700, which is, I think, 1,300 more. Making 1,700 here in Cordoba as well. So it, I think, was worth at least 1,000 just getting rid of those 2 rebel armies. Carthaginian assassin here, so that's not great. How good is Lawn of Munda? -1 personal security, +1 personal security. So he's okay. We're going to build a spy here, though, because a spy will help keep him safe against that assassin. It just helps to reveal the assassin when he tries to attack. So we'll do that. Right there is, I think, a great place to end this part. We're up to 19 regions. We took Messana and Mediolanium. Pretty soon we'll take Patavium and Syracuse. And then we'll finish off the Scipii at Thapsus. So things are looking up. We have a ton of money, 111,000 denarii. How much did we profit this turn? 32,873. So fantastic. Absolutely buzzing about that. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you haven't hit subscribe, please do that. I really appreciate the comments. I've actually been learning a ton about different things and different mechanics in Rome Total War. So I keep those up. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. Bye-bye.